All right, Chris, my friend, are you ready?
Yeah, man, let's do this.
Okay. All right, Chris, I'm about to hit the go live button. Are you ready? Once it goes
I
live,
think
we've
so.
got 3 minutes to get ourselves settled, and then we go in. Okay. All right. Breathe, man. Breathe.
All right. So, yeah, you know what? I'll just be as prepared as possible for background stuff. If I have my computer open and ready, then at least when we start talking.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out. I've clicked live, and it isn't pushing through. So I'm a little bit concerned, but I mean, that could just be my internet. Because my internet's just gone south tonight.
Well,
Right. Okay, it's showing that the stream has started. I'm just hoping that everything comes through. All right. Anyways, we've still got 2 minutes. I started live early last time, so let's just see what happens. Okay, Chris, we've still got like 1 minute and 45 to go, so let's see. All right. This countdown part is the part that kills me the most.
yeah.
I don't know why. It's just like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like that it builds the nerves more for some reason. But it's part
Well,
of the
that's
fun.
because you're in the in between, right? That's the worst part of anything is that in between.
Yeah.
Because it started, but it's not really started.
Yeah. So, and it's showing that the stream has started, but I don't know what's going on now because okay. Chris, big welcome. Thank you very much. As I showed you earlier, I am representing you this evening. The shirt has served me very, very well over the years. It is super comfy and yeah. So, Chris, do you want to just like give a rundown for everyone as to who you are, what you're specializing in, even though I know what's going on and who you are? Let's just introduce yourself so everyone across the country and the world knows.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Christopher Pilgrim. I am the owner proprietor of PilgrimCasa Reptiles. I now have a website. It's PilgrimCasaReptiles.com. It's very, very poorly populated right now, but it does exist. What I specialize in. So I knew early on that I was in love with the overall black and white and gray of a Xanthic. And the one of the early pictures that I saw was a VPI Xanthic genetic stripe. And it just blew my mind that this was the same species that I had right over here in my, glass tank with my single pet ball python. I was reading up on it to learn as much as I could, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
So I believe that particular specimen was a VPI line Xanthic, which is probably something that influenced my decision to go with that line over any other later down the road. But yeah, once I saw that, man, I was hooked, and it was, oh man, I spent hours and hours and hours learning everything I possibly could about ball pythons and their genetics and how the stuff worked. And I wanted to kick myself because this is all stuff that I should have learned in 10th grade biology. I'm confident that this is stuff that was presented to me, and I learned it well enough to pass the test. And then I, did the old data dump, and it didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
But once I came alive for me with these animals, it definitely transformed the way that I looked at it. So everything since then, man, has just been kind of a passion project of trying to make it better.
Okay. So now, Chris, obviously Pilgrim Casa came from your surname being Chris Pilgrim. What does the Casa stand for? The last part, what does that stand for? Does it have any meaning or?
It does. Casa is Spanish for home.
Okay.
And at the time that I began, I was living in Southern California here in the United States. And that region, it is very, very strongly, what's the word? There's a lot of blended language there because of the heavy Spanish influence in that area.
Okay.
So another friend had dubbed my house the Pilgrim Casa, and he was also from that region of the United States. And it just kind of stuck with me. So when I decided to do Pilgrim's House of Reptiles, instead of using house, I went with the Spanish of casa.
Okay.
And just kind of brought it together.
That's quite a unique way of doing it. I always find it interesting how people come up with their names and that. And yeah, yours is definitely one of the more unique ones out there, and I really do like it. And I mean, the logo that you've got representing, I mean, dude, it's on my back. I would stand up and show you right now, but it's your shirt. You know this.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love it, man. And it's so funny to me how it happened. I made the logo before I produced anything that looked like that. And at the time, there wasn't really anything that did look like that. So I've been looking at it for years and years because it's on my wall too.
Yeah.
And one day I kind of realized that this animal is exactly what that picture kind of represents. So it's kind of been fun to see that materialize in front of me.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris, I'm just watching. It's all of a sudden it's just showing thanks for watching on YouTube. So I'm assuming my internet sucks this evening. I've just said to everyone, South African internet sucks. Sorry. So if they don't get to watch it, I will upload it. I've already stated it there that if need be, I'll upload it later. I hate when things don't work out. And you saw me earlier, the nerves are getting in, and now it just doesn't work. I mean, the lecture IT, I should know how to fix this stuff, but no, I don't. Today has not been a good day for me, but anyways, we won't come back to that. So, Chris, in 2017, I met you over in Justin's place, and then I met you, it was at the Atlanta Repticon, if I'm not mistaken, with you and Bob.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, back then you had more or less just started out the breeding for yourself, if I'm not mistaken, on that. And
yeah, I had just gotten, I think, production from some of my own produced females. Yes. So I'd say that's like about then, that's when I feel like it got kind of serious.
Yeah. And I mean, the stuff you and I were talking about back then, there were some amazing ideas that you had. And I mean, some of the stuff that you were showing me at the expo was unbelievable. I mean, I know you definitely love working with the Axanthics, and the Axanthics are a big, big gene here in South Africa. I don't know if you've ever gone over to the South African morph market page.
No, not yet. I obviously will need to spend some time there.
Yeah. So there's a breeding team out here called Ball Python Morphs. Okay. And they are very big into the Axanthic. I mean, they're producing Orange Dream nuclear Axanthics. So your Orange Dream fire butters. Wow. They've just hatched out, and it's all VPR line. So this is where your light shines perfectly. They've done, I think it was a fire spider yellow belly orange dream Axanthic.
Okay, that's got to look exceptional.
Yeah. So what I might do is, if this doesn't work, and there's such a latency on it at the moment, it's actually so sad. Because it's only got the countdown timer now, and we've been going for how long already? So I'm actually going to close YouTube because I'm not even going to try bother with watching what's going on. So Yeah, so Chris, a lot of Azanthic stuff is being done in this country, and if you had to see some of the stuff here, you'll be blown away. We've They've even made Azanthic vanilla creams out here from ball python morphs.
Okay.
So yeah, so what I'll do is if the stream doesn't work out, I'll throw in some pictures of what I'm talking about. I'll get their permission,
Okay.
just so then you can watch at a later stage and check things out. Um, I was really hoping that we could get this right. Um, but as I say, it's the internet's here at the moment is absolute garbage. Because the one breeder from Ball Python Morphs is always with me live and always asking questions. And the two of you would get on like a house on fire because of your love for Azanthics.
Yeah.
So maybe one day when you come visit the South African Expos out here, I will introduce you to the guys from Ball Python Morphs and you guys will hit it off. I can tell you right now.
Well, so I'm going to assume that my wife is going to be watching this live stream at some point. And now that she knows that we have an invitation to go to South Africa, now I've got to answer the questions of when and how and for. So thank you. And yeah, man, let's set that up.
Yeah, so I think it'll be entertaining because what we'll do is we'll set you up for different parts of the country so you can go visit different breeders. And one of the best things about the South Africans is if you are in the same hobby, even if you've never met the people before, they are more than happy to always invite you over and look after you and host you. And I think that's where a lot of the American breeders will get very lucky is people just open up their homes. You'll just have to kind of get used to the South African food because it is slightly different to American. But that's a whole new cuisine to enjoy. But Chris, heading back to the concept of ball pythons and everything, before this started, you and I chatted, and obviously one of the things that we chatted about was, if I can say it, even though you've already posted it, was your Azanthic desert ghost. I think I heard you cheering from here without the internet.
Oh man, it was amazing to see that coming out and just to be able to get the odds because it was a double het pairing. Like you know, but you can't control anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's possible you might have heard me from somebody. Yeah, it's I was excited, man.
No, definitely.
I'm still excited. It's incredible. Anyway,
I saw that like cold shiver come across you right there, just thinking about that animal.
It's so pretty. It's just so, and then the entire the whole clutch. Oh, just wait. So we've got some meals down. We've got the first shed done. We got some meals in them. After a few more meals, I think they'll be ready for the photo shoot and the rollout. But man, they're spectacular.
Yeah, no, man. I know how much you've been looking forward to that animal because I had heard rumors that, not from you, but I did hear the rumors that you had a pair of double hits. Because I know where they came from, and that's where I got the word of mouth from. But we won't go into those details. But when I heard that you had those double
fast, man, you can't keep good news like that quiet.
No, you can't. But like when I heard that you got those double hits, like inside I was like a little bit screw you type thing, but also I was like actually quite excited for you, especially when I found out they were adults. Then it was more definitely on the inside like I hate you, Chris. But
so hey, not without its own share of struggles though. You've had that news for quite a while, right?
Yeah, since I've had the news about that since 2018, because I think that's when you more or less got the animals.
Right. You notice that this is the first follow-up that you've heard since 2018.
It is. Was this the first time you bred them, or did you breed them last season?
Some things are just worth waiting, man. The first clutch was disappointing, and it's just how it is when we're working with animals, man. It doesn't always work out the way that we'd like it to.
Yeah.
So this season we had a little bit better approach, and it obviously worked out. So I'm very thankful to be on this project, man. It's exciting. It's been a long time coming, I think, for the project overall. It's not a first. It's been done before, and it will continue to be, I think, cultivated in a very deliberate manner.
Yeah.
But I think that being able to bring those two projects together like that kind of creates a nice cross point to start bringing other recessives in as well.
No, definitely. And I mean, just by the fact that you were able to get the two together, that opens so many different doors for you, because with you work, because the Atlantic Desert Ghost that you produce, is it a boy or a girl? Let's start with that. Or don't you really want to say at the moment?
So I think I forgot, actually. Let me get back to you on that part.
Because the reason...
I still... Yeah. What's that? Go ahead.
No, go.
I'm still excited to have produced. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't want to overextend my my zeal. So a little bit at a time, before I'm even worried about which ones are boys and girls, I want to make sure that they're well started and that they're healthy, because it doesn't matter what pops or probes, they got to eat. So that's a lot of my focus, and I post a lot online about brilliance in the basics and stuff. And I'm super excited. Please don't take this the wrong way. I'm super excited to be where I am with the genetics in these projects. But man, if I could tell everybody one thing, it would be, you got to be really good at just the basic everyday care, because that's where you're either going to succeed or fail.
Correct. That basic care is the most important thing. And I mean, we use WhatsApp here a lot. Like, I know in America, you guys use iMessenger and Facebook more than you guys use WhatsApp. So we've actually got WhatsApp groups, and that's one of the biggest topics that we are always talking about is the basic care. And then it's always the main debate of what substrate is the best. And I'll be honest with you, Chris, it happens at least once a week, that debate. And obviously everyone's got their point of view, and what works for one person isn't always going to work for the other. So we're not going to quite get into that debate, because I think that
it's actually, it's awesome. I have the answer that should help settle the debate once and for all. And I think you will agree with me, and so will everybody else. The best substrate for your animal is the one that you check and clean on a regular basis.
There we go. That's the ideal one.
So you can get into the petty arguments of, well, this one does this better than this. Look, don't keep them on anything toxic. There's a long list of stuff not to keep them on. Don't use that stuff, and take great care of the animals that you have on the bedding that you choose to use.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Those are seriously some wise words, Chris. I mean, that will end every single debate every single time. And it all comes down to your personal preference. And as you say, whichever one you want, make sure that it's always easy for you.
Yeah, and there's no reason to overcomplicate it, right? Like, you're going to do the work anyway. Just make sure that you have it worked into a way that is daily and manageable, and you're going to have all kinds of success with it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that is the one thing that everyone needs to understand. But as I say, that topic will get us going for hours and hours and hours. So going back to the Atlantic Desert Ghost.
Let's do that. I like that. Man, we transition to that every time.
So when we know that a topic's going to become heavy debating, let's just transition to the Atlantic Desert Ghost.
Oh yeah,
because
every
that
time.
will always just put a smile on our face, and we can just move on from there. So, Chris, regardless of the sex of your Asiatic desert ghost, have you got
That's a holdback. That's a holdback for sure.
have you got an idea of where you want to take it yet, or you still trying to figure that one out?
So with the double homozygous, it's definitely going to open a lot of doors for me to combine projects, because anything I have that is het desert ghost is available still to me as a breeder. And because I have the ability to guarantee that it's going to produce double hets, then I can start to kind of refine the directions that I want to take it. Because just as quickly as I wanted to combine them, now I have to separate them and piece part them out so that I can recombine it later.
Yes.
So it's, the standard project development approach that I use. It's simply keep kind of grinding away, man.
No,
So yeah, there's a lot of development for that in the future, but I wouldn't expect to feel like there's big fireworks like around the next corner for that just yet.
well,
Big fireworks are way ahead.
talking of Asiatic stuff, so I had some animals on the other side of the country recently. Sorry, my ears just irritating me inside this headphone. I brought them home, and one of the things that arrived, and I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot about them, but I'm happy about it, are a pair of vanillas, head for black ghosts, so black Asiatic hypos. I think that's going to
Oh,
be...
nice. Oh, yeah, dude, that's a nice looking snake. The black Xanthic hypos.
And now I'm working vanilla into it as well, because I've got a pair of vanillas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you've seen Jeremy Daig's, or Jeremy, how do you say it? Jeremy Daig, Jeremy Doug, Jeremy Dog.
JD constrictors.
Yes.
John Daig.
John Daig, sorry, yeah. Why did I have Jeremy in my brain? I think I'm thinking of Jeremy Stone from Stone Reptiles at the same time. I've got too many things running through my head. So you've obviously seen the vanilla SK Xanthic hyper that he's produced, or not? So
I've probably gotten it sent to me in multiple message format a few times.
I think I might have done that to you as well before a few years ago.
Hey, keep it coming, man. No, keep it coming. I tell you what, I love the fact that the pioneers of the projects care more about the projects than trade secret, so to speak, stuff, because by sharing, hey, look, I've done this and it looks great, or I've done this and it looked great, but it didn't turn out so well.
Yeah. So when I saw that vanilla SK hypo, I knew that thing is going to look sick in black Xanthic hypos. So little secret, I mean, I had quite a bit of Xanthic VPI Xanthic stock back in the day.
Right.
I've sold everything. I've sold it all. Don't give me that, sir.
I'm highly disappointed, man. I'm highly disappointed. Sold it all?
Yeah. So I've got the Black Xanthic project, and I've got the MJ Xanthic project. But I've got I've only just got one MJ animal, and it's an MJ Xanthic head part female. So I want to try obviously get the pod in there to make the Xanthic pod, and then try sneaky get the Desert Ghost in, because I feel like that Xanthic Desert Ghost pod is going to be next level.
Oh, man,
I see that smile. I think that's where you're going with yours already.
Man, it's going to be so slick. Well, have you seen the Desert Ghost pods, right?
Yes, I have.
I mean, if you work heavily enough with Xanthic, I think your imagination has to be tuned in a little bit to be able to try to translate for yourself, like, hey, this is how that's going to look if I can get it put together right.
Yeah.
So if you've seen the desert ghost pied adults, good Lord, man, those things age so well. No, I don't. I don't have any here. I just have seen them before.
Yeah.
But wow, yeah, throwing Xanthic on top of that, that's definitely a direction that I've got to see happen.
No, definitely. I think that has a huge potential down the future. Obviously, right here, right now, to get all those animals together is going to take a long time. But
Right.
yeah, but I mean, we've got time on our side. We've got time on our side. So we've got the potential for that.
And it's not just time that's on our side. If you look at the number of people that are keeping and breeding ball pythons today versus 2017 when you and I met,
yeah,
the overall market has expanded leaps and bounds, and it's
definitely
not like it's slowed down. So the people that were doing quality work, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, are still doing quality work. And the people that they've mentored and brought along the way that bought quality animals from them are also producing quality things because that's who they learned from and that's what they learned.
Mm. Yeah, no, definitely. But now, with you being quite heavy on Xanthic and that being your main focus, I've got to ask you this question here because in my head, this is a project that's I've never been able to see how it will react together. And you seem to be working in a direction on that. And that's that VPI Xanthic spider het red Xanthic that you posted on your Facebook page the other day.
Yes.
So what made you decide to combine the VPI Xanthic with the red Xanthic? Is there a project in mind in that, or was it just a case of let's just try get that black backing into the Xanthics?
So there's a couple of humorous side things at work at one time.
Okay.
Red Xanthic is a beautiful gene, first of all.
Mm.
I don't possess right now that I'm aware of any true red Xanthic stock. I have some het red stuff and I've produced some stuff from there, but I have yet to produce a super, and I don't think I can buy a super now that's going to meet what I need it for.
Yeah.
So I can be patient on that. But finding out that it was in the same family as a black pastel and cinnamon really kind of helped me zoom in on that as a potential asset for my VPI Xanthic work.
Okay.
I bought a couple of posset females a while back and kind of grew them up and was really just trying to be patient and wait for the right time before I selected their mate.
Yeah.
I went light with one and dark with the other. I'm waiting on eggs for the other. But with the light direction, I got the het red spider. There was some firefly in there. There's a pretty good variety, I think, of animals that resulted from that clutch.
All right.
But why I went there, and it seemed like the direction to go. I wanted to be able to see what those combos would look like. And I'll be danged that some of them I couldn't tell you 100% what they are, but I can tell you they're female, so it doesn't matter.
No, when an animal's a female, you don't really care what the genetics are, especially if they look good. They're just going to look even better in your rack.
That's right. And you know what? With so many potential directions that I can take it, all it's going to take is a desert ghost male on that female for me to produce one clutch of double hets and be able to tell you exactly what that female is.
Correct. Now, talking about the red Xanthic and the VPI Xanthic combination, what are you envisioning the red Xanthic to look like? Or is that a project that you're not going to quite follow just yet?
It's a double axanthic. I think that because we're talking about a codom and a recessive at its face, it should be achievable. You can tell the difference between the het red and the red axanthic. Even if you take away the color, you can still tell the difference because you still got a lot of pattern mutation and the markers. It'll be obvious, I feel, when we get there.
Yeah.
I've heard other people discuss doing combined lines of axanthic. That's not a direction that I'm really interested in, and that's not really why I went here. This is just more of a, let's see if this one looks as good as the black pastel, better than the black pastel. Like I can't answer those questions if I don't do it. And so I decided to do it so I can tell.
Yeah. I kind of feel like as a baby, the VPI axanthic, red axanthic. Can we just come up with a new name, or else I'm going to get very confused so that we both know what we're talking about?
Hold on, but so het red axanthic, there's green pastel, there's
Huffman.
They've got like 20 different
Laurie,
names for it.
Yeah.
Sure. Throw 5 more on it. Why not?
No, I'm just talking so I don't get myself confused when I talk about the axanthic, red axanthic. Ara, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some easy name to say, or else I'm going to get tongue-tied very quickly.
Let's see. So we're talking the Super HRA VPI.
Yes. I think let's just do that. I think that might just be easier. Okay. So
works for me.
The Super HRA, so your super het red axanthic, so being the red axanthic, as they hatch, they look like normal axanthic, so being black and white. And as they age, I don't know if you've seen, they actually do change to like a burgundy color in some pictures that I've seen. And then as they age further, so they go back to the black and silver. So from my imagination, I think that like middle color change that they go through, I think the VPI version will take that away. So I think you'll get more of a true silver and black snake, and potentially no browning out. So and some potentially interesting patterns.
Yeah, the pattern changes are very interesting, and especially when you look at the product like fire or vanilla, when you start layering those on top, man, it's fantastic. Now I don't have any of the super vanilla stuff to play with, like what you were talking about. That's interesting. We should talk. Oh, but it's not VPI, is it? You said it's the black axanthic.
But I do have a hypo super vanilla female that I can send you. Just saying.
Hypo or Desert Ghost?
Hypo.
So listen. So this is coming. Because I work. All right. I work Desert Ghost.
Yeah.
I work Desert.
Yes.
I love both projects for very different reasons, but the look is very similar. So help me with the naming here when we get the Desert Ghost. Or the Desert Ghost.
So it's the Hypo Desert Ghost. Desert Ghost Hypo Desert.
No. So for it to be Ghost, though, it would have to be Hypo and Axanthic, right?
Oh, so True Ghost. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry.
So then is it True Ghost? So do we say True Desert Ghost, or Ghost? Like, where does it go? How do
Desert?
When I get there,
True Ghost, Desert Ghost. There we go. I think we could spend all night just talking about names.
Yeah, and so it's actually kind of fun, but it becomes a little difficult over time when things start stacking up as being the same. Somebody asked on Facebook for me, I want to say, was asking about, hey, is this also a world first? And my answer at this point has to be, I couldn't tell you, like I have presumed worlds first where I can throw the combo up and say, hey, here's a picture and here's what I think this is. But because all the color has been stripped away, I only have the pattern to base my presumption on. And that's cool until it's not. So right now, I don't think it's problematic. I think the directions that I'm taking my projects, it will never be problematic. But I think that it's something that a lot of people get stars in their eyes. Oh man, all of these animals. Yes, but you could definitely take all of these tools and make some big mistakes too.
I definitely think with the projects that you're talking about, I definitely think the idea to go behind is also getting Yellow Belly into your ultimate project that you've just mentioned. I feel like you're already working on that based on that facial expression.
Yeah. Yellow Belly kind of surprised me as far as the way it reacted. I'm sort of sold on it. It's still all white snake, right? A super is an all white snake.
Yeah, so if you can go for something like, instead of doing that, maybe use something like Spectre, which the super has got a little bit of pattern involved, or something like asphalt or gravel. I think that you could get the same flames, but at least the super's not an all white snake.
Right. But you still want to have Yellow Belly in that toolbox of stuff because you can't make your Spectre Yellow Belly combo without Yellow Belly.
Yeah.
It's so, like I said, I think that is definitely a project with potential. There's definitely something that people are already working, and that saves me a lot of work.
Yeah.
When the time comes that I need to implement that, I think it'll be more accessible than it is even now. But and I don't have space to add. I can't add more without growing more, man. I'm right where I want to be.
And here I come along, giving you more ideas and more work to do.
Yeah, hey, here's Spectre. What do you think, Beth? Oh shit, man, that's a part. Sorry.
It's fine. Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of work still to be done with Azanthic, and I think.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think, without being an ass with what I'm going to say, I think a lot of people in America have slept on the Azanthic gene. Let me tell you one thing. Out here, Azanthic is the forerunner. Azanthic is what Azanthic has got a lot of people involved into this hobby in South Africa. Yep. We are. I would probably like to say we are the when I say we, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about South Africa as a general. I think we might be the forerunners for a lot of potential powerhouse Azanthic projects.
Yeah, I would say probably so. I haven't looked at it recently, but I know the projects that you sent me pictures of even back in 2017, stuff that made my jaw drop.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't been able to follow up with where you've taken that or where whoever got it from you has taken it. But I know what directions I would take it. And I'm seeing it, man, people are rolling out new combos left and right all the time because it's over here in the States, I mean. And I don't know how it happened, but it did finally happen where people were like, oh, wow, this is actually kind of cool. I'm glad that I was doing it because I just like it. I've had people ask me, oh, what made you choose that line? Or, hey, that's a very good choice for the market. And there was no market. People all said the market was dead. Like some of these animals, people would want to fight if they heard what the prices were on buying them.
Yeah.
Because it was, a largely underappreciated project. But I want to say Ken McAlexander had the Superfire Azanthics over at, I think it's Ball Python Investments here in the U.S. And it really kind of gave me a push in the right direction to say, okay, look, I'm not the only one trying to do this. I don't just have John Daig modeling what axanthic combos will look like in a different flavor. Now there's somebody else that's actively working towards furthering the project, not towards, hey, here's 100 copies of the same thing and nothing's improved.
Yeah. No, but definitely, like, one of the things is when it came to the axanthics, a lot of people were talking about getting Orange Dream into axanthic, and now I was kind of like, but why? Okay, because because I mean, sorry.
What? I'm listening.
So it sounded like you said, "I'll show you why."
Yes, I will. If you'd like to see.
Yeah, show us. You probably got something interesting hiding there.
No, so it's actually not axanthic. It's just Orange Dream. But when it hatched, I thought I'd hit on some kind of hidden het that I was unaware of. I didn't. If you've hatched enough axanthics, you know that even the hets will hatch out silver.
Yeah.
And they'll break your heart. Well, this
especially
was
after they first shed.
Oh man, I was over the moon. I was like, "There's no way that this female was het axanthic, and I didn't know it. That's just amazing. It was hiding in the collection, and oh, how cool!" No, and one look at her now, you'll say, "Well, no, there's definitely no doubt about it." All right, so let me see if I can switch my camera around. I'm sure there it is. Okay. So this little girl here, now I understand there's no silver about her, but the Orange Dream difference on her, if you look at the way that the yellows kind of get highlighted.
Yeah.
Now she's Orange Dream Pastel Fire Spider, I think. Okay.
That's an awesome looking animal, Chris.
Thanks. So she's the wrong color, right? Well, all right. Hold on, I'll make up for that. Give me a second. Which one did you say that you want? Oh, this guy. Oh, sorry. You can tell I don't do a lot of video. So this guy is the HRA Spider VPI. Let's see if we can harass him to laying down. So what I love is the jacked up head pattern.
Yeah.
And the deep contrast on the dark of that spider pattern.
Yeah.
Because that's not a just spider by itself sort of thing.
No, that's the result of that HRA playing in.
Right. Yeah. So I think this guy is going to age exceptionally well.
Agreed.
And then his brother here, I'll show him side by side if he'll chill. So the brother here is the single HRA VPI.
That thing is awesome, Chris.
So I was actually more excited with him than the spider combo. And I'm sure that somebody else has got one of these too, but the fact that this one was a boy just had me.
It was a bonus.
Yeah, big bonus.
Oh man, those things are awesome. So there was something I was going to talk about whilst looking at those animals, and so strangely enough that you mentioned about that spider HRA and you're talking about the jacked up head pattern.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever picked this up, but it's actually quite easy to pick out which spiders might potentially be heteroxanthic just based on the head pattern. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
No, but I have noticed that a bunch of the spiders almost have a fire look to them on their head, to the point that when mixing fire with some of my VPI work, I've had question on whether or not some of the spiders were fire spiders. The answer has so far been no, they weren't. They're just really clean, really good looking spiders. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it definitely messes with the head. And if you also look, I've noticed that a lot of the VPI stuff, even without Orange Dream, you get a lot of pattern reduction towards the latter half of the animal. So, and it's not all the time. It's, I want to say the Jolliffe Axanthic I want to say Miguel's Jolliffe Axanthic tiger stuff is from his results when he was trying to mix VPI and Jolliffe Axanthic. So it's not like it's a big secret, but if you look at a lot of your VPI stuff, you'll notice the back end has a tendency to be distorted or kind of weird.
Okay.
Throw on other genes like Orange Dream, and you've really got something interesting starting to happen or develop. So that girl I showed you, obviously she's not ready to breed by any means, but when nobody will sell you the animal because nobody has it, you just make your own hets, right?
Yeah. Well, we can always send you some Orange Dream Axanthic stuff your way. I know a few people here.
Let's make this happen. You know, do a little trade.
Yeah.
Make some beautiful animals.
Well, a friend of mine, if he gets lucky, he might actually hit on some pastel VPI parts. Right. So I think that could be quite interesting, especially bringing the pastel into the mix, because I love pastel when it mixes with pod, and then you can get, and I love pastel Axanthics. I definitely think that will work. To me, what actually sold me on Axanthic was the pastel Axanthics that Kevin McCurley produced over at Nerd. That's what actually sold me on Axanthics originally.
Okay.
And then I saw the pastel black Axanthic. And that was me. Sell VPR and get the black Axanthic. The black Axanthic has been my idea and my project since I first saw it in person back in 2015.
Man. Yeah, it's so the very small number of the black Axanthic that I've seen, just mind blowing, man. Amazing looking stuff. I don't currently work with that because, like I said, my hands are full and I only get to keep so many that I produce.
Yeah.
But
so now my main question is, obviously, as well, you're very focused on the Axanthics. Have you thought about trying to work in either the snow or the lavender snow into your projects, or is that just going to be pushing the boundaries a little bit too far for your capacity?
No, so I've actually got a few projects with other breeders where I've been able to facilitate their efforts in that direction. And that's one of the beautiful things about being hyper-focused in what I'm doing, is that as I'm able to make gains here, it facilitates gains for other people in their projects too. But the better I do, the better I can help them do.
That's
so
true.
I'm not surprised at all that it's coming. It just won't be coming from me.
Yeah. Well, on talking of that, I'm actually working with somebody on a project at the moment to produce pastel and super pastels double hit lavender snows. Because I bought 3 adult double hit females, and they're sitting with him. And so I said, we need to make some males. we're throwing a pastel lavender with a pastel axanthic, and I'm just going like this for a super pastel double head boy.
Yep. And I hope you get 2.
Thank you.
To be honest with you, I hope you get 2.
Why? So I can send one over there.
No, for you. Because listen, so the 2 boys I just showed you from the HRA clutch.
Yeah.
There's some people that said, hey, let me know if you're going to sell it, whatever. I might eventually be able to sell one of them, but I want to keep the single gene male like myself because he's awesome. We'll see. But for the time being, he's not going anywhere. And neither's the other one, because sometimes you notice an animal just doesn't want to grow right.
Yeah.
Well, have it happen enough times, and 2 males in a clutch becomes a wonderful, wonderful thing to have.
Well, talking of axanthics and wonderful things to have, if I'm not mistaken, I do stand to be corrected. I think somebody here in South Africa has actually hit on the axanthic butter blackhead.
Oh, wow. That sounds sexy.
Yeah. So
no pictures? No pictures?
I'll send to you, Chris. I'll send to you. I've been a bit slow in sending you pictures of axanthics. Life has just been
I'm not mad at you. I appreciate it. It's just like not getting my nose rubbed in it. I appreciate it.
So a friend of mine as well, he's actually just down the road from me. He's about a 15, 20-minute drive. He has got a black heads axanthic female. And I'm trying very hard to work out what to put it to. I'm trying very hard to say do not use anything with spider in it, because when blackhead and spider meet, then acts like super, but they just look so much like a normal, as you said. So yeah, it's going to be very tough to see what direction he goes. I know the direction he wanted to go, and I need to get him back onto that path. I need to help him there. But yeah, he's the one who actually took my axanthic stock, the one that's about a 20-minute drive from me.
Well, he's already got the right answer then. He's got the right answer already in his possession. That what was that? Axanthic Phantom, isn't it?
Yeah. That I think that's the direction he wanted. I don't have the super. Somebody else has got the super Phantom axanthic. I need to send you some updated photos of that. That thing is still
smoking hot, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, see, that's the trick. Like, we can have beautiful hatchling babies, but when we get now to a point where we've got a rack full of just silver and black, and it's exciting to be able to have adults that also look as good as the babies.
Yeah, definitely. We've actually started a few other guys have actually started hatching axanthic Phantom combos in the country. So that's why I say I think we are definitely not, I wouldn't say we are leading the way, but we are definitely one of the forerunners, as I've said. We've got so many guys here doing axanthic, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, I think the leopard vanilla cream axanthic was produced. I do stand to be corrected. It's just so hard to keep track of what everyone else is doing.
For sure.
But
I've got the leopard. What'd you say? Leopard vanilla cream axanthic. Yeah, I imagine that's sexy, man. That's.
As I say, I do stand to be corrected on some of these things, because unfortunately I cleared my phone of all the messages and all the photos. I'm kind of like running on memory, and unfortunately I can't really remember what I did this morning. So my memory does fail me at times.
I can relate. Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, so the leopard VPI axanthic stuff, and you doing the black axanthic, man, I hope you're getting on that, putting leopard into that.
Well, I do have ideas on where I want to take it. Unfortunately, my female black axanthic that I've got, she's only about 600 grams. So she's still got some growing to go.
Gross.
Yeah. But the first boy that she's going to be seeing is probably the vanilla double het, because the black Xanthic female I've got is possible het hyper as well.
Oh yeah, you don't want to miss. Yeah,
dude. I think if I hit that double, I think you will hear me screaming from America.
From easy. So listen, I'm working with Desert Ghost, but don't rule out hypo. I've got a couple of hypo females that I'm using to make some of my double hets that are supposed to be making some of these awesome combos. And I love how accessible hypo is, the Orange Ghost, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because it makes it's almost like the Swiss Army knife tool. Like, it's one of the first things that people will tend to put newer projects on to see how it reacts, and it usually reacts fairly well. So I love being able to work with that too.
Yeah. Well, talking of hypo, I don't know if you saw last week's episode with Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles. We were actually discussing the hypo gene. And there's a guy down in Cape Town here in South Africa. He's, to put it politely, hypo mad and hypo crazy is an understatement. He is hypo obsessed. If he can get everything into hypo, he will get everything into hypo. As I said to Will last week, if he could get his wife into hypo, he would get his wife into hypo. That's how obsessed he is with hypo. But when I was there in 2017, at the expo you had, I think it was a hypo firefly possible yellow belly.
Yes.
Am I right in saying that?
Yes, you are. That's actually, so were you looking at the male or the female though?
I can't remember because I remember you asking me to look at the babies to work out whether there was actually yellow belly in it.
So I haven't proven it yet. Okay. Believe it or not, the female is getting her first pairing this season. And I mean, Enchi yellow belly should be fairly easy to spot, but she's paired with an Enchi male.
Okay.
So, I mean, but we've also got, pastel, fire, yellow belly, and now Enchi on top. Like, it's hopefully, like, I've never really felt like I wanted to root for the low end combos, but at a certain point, it's almost like, okay, look, man, I just want the 2 or 3 gene. Don't give me a whole clutch of 7 gene or 5 gene animals.
Yeah.
So I haven't identified yet whether or not yellow belly's in that clutch, but I have 2 of the females in that same male that you were looking at, although that male is doing hypo work at another facility right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, as I say, I can't remember. I just remember you opening up your the cage at the expo and going like, "Does this have yellow belly?" I'm like, I don't know.
Well, because man, it's frustrating because yellow belly is such a simple, like, it's so simple, right?
It's so simple to overlook at times as well. That's one thing I've picked up as well. It can be overlooked at times.
Yeah, it's asking for other people to help ID stuff tends to lead to these conversations. Like, so what's up? Is it yellow belly? Like, well, I don't know yet, but we're gonna find out one day.
Yeah. Well, talking of dark stuff, can I go get something to show you?
For sure.
Okay, just give me one moment.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So this, I think, will definitely take your project to the next level with the dark stuff. So we're looking at mahogany.
Okay.
Potentially yellow belly or spark. So
okay.
Yeah, so I think with those type of blushings on the side there, and guys have already started making the mahogany Xanthics. So I definitely think the mahogany is going to be another key to dark snakes, especially in the direction you want to go.
Especially with those flames on there. That's I like that.
Yeah, so I think this is where
spot nose doesn't put any problems in there, right? We got mahogany, so you could put spot nose on that too, right?
Yeah, my main goal with her is candy. I'm candy obsessed.
Nice. Well, so it's the same concept though, right? You want to turn all the other traits way up so that you can squash it with your minus.
With my candy gene. I just think that the purple in it will look insane.
For sure. Oh man, you are so right. Yeah. Oh, and then you're gonna put hypo on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So maybe I'm not hating the idea. So yeah, don't leave leopard out of that idea though.
Oh no! I've got my plans, man. Just stick with me. I definitely think you're going to be happy with what's going to be coming. Let me just go put her back, and then we can continue with the conversation.
Hey, welcome back.
Thanks.
We were sharing a moment.
Who the blank screen and yourself?
Yeah. Well, I figured you'd catch it in the edits later.
Probably. I'm actually nervous as what you've done now. Oh man. But yeah, Chris, again, I apologize about the flop with this not connecting to YouTube.
No, don't sweat it, man. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I was really hoping, because some of these guys on here ask such awesome questions. I think with the storm that we had today, I think we might have just been smacked somewhere. One of the towers have been smacked. So
let's get together an email afterwards and whatnot, and we'll schedule something for another time that maybe doesn't immediately follow a storm. And we'll try for round 2. Nobody's going to be surprised if round 1 doesn't go exactly as planned. Like I said, working with Chris.
I made this idea to Will last week, and I definitely want to do it with you and a few others. Is like with Will, I want to do like a Canadian Saturday, so get 2 or 3 breeders from Canada and Will, and we do a 4-way interview. That just sounds so wrong.
Oh, okay, like a round table town hall sort of discussion.
Yeah. And then do something like that with American breeders. So obviously you'll know a few guys that you can maybe suggest, and we get them all in. So I definitely think that could be interesting, especially with some of the characters that are out there on your side of the world.
Yeah, man, there's some personalities for sure.
I definitely think so. But, Will, it's nearly 8 p.m. here. So I've got my evening cup of coffee. So I've got, it's getting that time, because now obviously with the flop of the internet, I'm now going to have to just sit and edit and then upload. So I've got a bit of work to do ahead tonight. All right.
Sorry, man.
No, dude, you know what? It happens. It's just a shit thing when it happens. And YouTube, give me the fine you want. I don't care. But yeah, Chris.
Oh wait, you get fined on YouTube for dropping profanity?
Probably not, but I'm just saying if they do, I get it. I don't care. I know I get.
Okay.
I know my last video that I did with Chris from Deadmau5, I got smacked with copyright issues for the intro music that I used.
Oh, okay.
And the person who told me, "Oh, use my music; it's copyright free." Well, I need to find this person and like just have a small chat with them, or them. I don't know what they are. No, it's not. I mean, if it's copyright, if it's royalties free, I shouldn't be smacked with copyrights. But I got smacked with copyright. So yeah. Right. But Chris, shot for this. Really enjoyed it. I need to drop you more and more messages on Facebook. I just get very slow with that. But definitely, if you get chances, tune into the channel, because the next 2 weeks we've got Redhead Reptiles from Instagram joining us, and then the week after we've got Hoser Exotics, so old Jeremy Sloan. He's going to be joining us. I think that's going to be an interesting weekend, I think, with one Jeremy Sloan.
Sorry, I don't have any shenanigans to entertain everybody today, but it's okay. We're to make it a round table soon. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll have a few drinks and
Yeah.
we'll all go nuts.
The last time I was in America, Jeremy dropped me a message and told me that I must stop being an old donkey and go visit him. I don't know why old donkey, but I mean that, yeah, he told me I'm an old donkey and then I must stop being an old donkey and go visit him.
Well, so stop being a stubborn. Oh, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's Jeremy. We
When
don't
are you coming back to the States, by the way? Now that you mention it.
When I get an invite again.
Hey, so invite. Boom, done. Come on.
Okay. Next thing, are you going to pay for my tickets?
So I was just about to say, unfortunately, I still have to do my part in accepting your invitation to come out to South Africa. That's the whole sequence of it, right?
Yeah.
So after I do my part, then you can do your part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because apparently I do have a virtual wedding invite that I do need to get over there. Old Chase Patton from Justin's facility manager. Yeah. So him and his fiance have said I must come out there for their wedding. I've just got to see what the finances do. Chase, dude, you're my brother. I'll definitely be there. I'm going to try my hardest. If not, I'm going to ask him to please have a laptop open and I'll Zoom and I'll watch the entire thing online if I can't make it. So,
well, with the COVID-19 situation in the U.S., there's the only thing that we can predict is that nothing's going to be predictable.
Well, as I said to you at the very start, they banned tobacco in this country because of it. And I just remember seeing your face. There, that says it all for me. They banned tobacco and alcohol to stop the spread of the virus. I see you fighting that back very hard.
That's quite an interesting way to combat the virus.
Yeah. So it's actually one minister who did it, and the joke that's going around is her next thing to ban is butter or margarine, because then the spread will stop. Yeah. That's our government for you. Sorry, that is like such a typical dad joke. It is so bad, but
Red will stop.
Yeah, but I can't stop laughing.
Oh man! So no alcohol, no tobacco. So is this like a permanent thing, or just until we beat the corona?
They lifted the alcohol ban, but you can only buy from Monday to Thursday between certain times. Tobacco is non-existent. You're not allowed to buy. People are buying illegally and at massively inflated prices. So, yeah.
Are you guys on a strict quarantine, or is that not a thing?
So we had that. It got lifted, but now they're talking about taking us back into home isolation again, closing businesses. Chris, let me give you an idea of where the government's mindset went with this. Okay, obviously textile shops closed, so you couldn't buy clothing. But when those opened up again, you could only buy boots. You couldn't buy sandals. You could buy jackets, but you couldn't buy an undershirt. I don't know the reasoning behind it. They wouldn't give us a logical reasoning. They just said that's the way it is. And yeah. So it's all part of the fun, man.
You got a garden now, right?
Yeah. Why? Start growing tobacco plants.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. Can you do that there? Is that like, I don't, if it's, oh, man. Oh.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
I'm glad that it hasn't shut down all technology, because it's a push to be able to do more stuff like this.
No, it is. And I mean, I've got another 3 weekends of doing this. My last one is on the first weekend of August, and then thereafter I'm taking a 1 or 2 week break, and then I'm going to start it again. I just need a break from doing this every single Saturday. And talking of
Yeah, it's
which,
a big commitment.
yeah, talking of which, I do believe happy birthday is in order for you. I don't know when your birthday was, but yeah, I remember you saying to me this interview was after your birthday, so you're happy about that. So happy birthday for the other day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
41 years young, man.
Yeah, and just so that you know, I'm keeping this in the final edit, so everyone can then wish you happy birthday as well.
All right.
All right,
Appreciate
Chris.
it. Well, hey, listen, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you reaching out and setting this up. It's been a lot of fun to talk snakes with the
Yeah.
virtual audience, especially
Again,
knowing that it'll be well received.
yeah. Again, I apologize about the flop with this internet. As soon as it's uploaded, what I'll do is I'll send you a Facebook message with a link. You can chuck it on
Okay.
your Facebook page, and people can go watch. And then this live session, I'm just going to put a link to redirect people to the actual video, to the uploaded version.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay. Chris, thank you again.
Thanks,
Thank you for taking your time. And
yes,
yeah,
sir.
man. Yeah. Again, appreciate it. Definitely
Great talking with you, man.
we'll talk about doing something like that round table, whether the guys are all at your place or we just connect each person by Zoom like this. I definitely think it'll work as long as my internet works.
Okay. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed for the internet to work and see what's set up.
No, definitely. All right, Chris, have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as soon as this is uploaded, I'll send the link to you and I'll send you some pictures as well.
Awesome.
All right, Chris,
Thanks.
have a good one, man.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
Out.